One thing that's funny is I have my finger in between her toes. And every time that Pink Floyd influenced guitar riffs start kicking in, her toes start to curl. It's the cutest thing.
I didn't even realize it was doing that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what side of the world you're in. I'm HalfLifeSistah, and this is my hubby Wolfgang.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to my channel and to another episode of Sistah and Wolf Reaction. But this is a special reaction. This is a sponsored album reaction.
That's why I brought the couch out.
We're on a comfy couch, exactly. So this is going to be a good 45-50 minutes of us reviewing.
We're going to listen to an album from beginning to end.
Yes.
So we need to be comfortable if we're going to do that. But yeah, it is a sponsor. I told him in advance, you can sponsor this video.
Right.
We can listen to your album.
Of course.
We don't know if it's good or not. If it's not good, we can't say it's good.
It will be an honest reaction.
Yeah, it'll be an honest reaction.
Review
It'll be an honest review.
Reaction.
It's also here for you guys.
Yes, of course.
So you can experience as well and form your own opinion. We'll give you ours. You have yours. And
I'm excited.
get to know a little bit about a new artist.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I really am. I would like to thank my sponsor for wanting me or us to react or review their album. Thank you so very much.
Speaking of that sponsor is Jim Sarin, and his name of his band is The Touch.
The Touch.
And
the name of the album is
The Asylum.
Asylum, yes.
So he reached out to us, gave us a generous donation, and asked us if we would review a couple of songs. And his donation was generous enough to where I told him, well, listen, we'll just do the whole album.
Indeed, of course. Yes, baby, so generous.
And of course, link in the description to his YouTube page where you can see the album in full and some of the other things they're doing. Phantom Productions is the name of the YouTube page. Okay, so I'll just read real quick what he sent to me. Mm-hmm. The Touch, a duo of musicians, myself, which is Jim, on keyboards, lyrics and all production. So he writes the lyrics and he does the production for the songs. Yeah, okay. Along with longtime friend on guitar, Vic DiMargio.
Hi, Vic.
And a local vocalist, Jen Cancio, Cancio.
Is that a female?
Yes.
Oh, hi, beautiful.
So he says, no one wanted me to do this concept album sensitive topic when I shared the idea. However, it was simply and purely a challenge for myself to capture what happens to a woman when she goes to an evaluation in an asylum, tells them she hears voices, and then they lock her in. So that's... Yeah, so...
God, okay.
You know, one concept album you've been getting a lot of requests for is Pink Floyd.
Yes.
And one day when we have time...
Oh, my God.
I don't know when, but if we ever do have time, we will, sit down and take in the experience that is The Wall and some of the other concept albums that Pink Floyd has done.
Okay.
All right, so he goes on to say that each song is a sequence in her existence.
Okay.
This CD took 1 year to make, with actual recordings of psychiatric interviews. Final Curtain, which was one of the names of the songs towards the end, is from the public domain. So we're going to hear like real psychiatric reviews as part of the sound experience, part of the soundscape. All right, so he's worked that into the music.
So excited. Okay.
It's not a video; it's just going to be showing pictures, and then lyrics will come up when she's singing, so we can see what the lyrics are. Okay. Songs in order, you'll see them in the description. The Asylum Part 1, which is the foreshadowing of what's about to happen. The voices, where she's telling the people, the admissions office, that she's hearing the voices in her head. Third song will be You'll Like It Here, where the doctor introduces her to a new home. Alone with my thoughts, she is in her room and hearing the world inside her head with no outside distraction. My Reality, which has vocals on it, where she realizes this is now her existence. Sweet Madness, moments of peace, chaos, and then peace. Ghosts Are in My Mind, which also has vocals, where she experiences really bad delusions. Hello, more delusions, as she thinks she's answering a phone call. And then the Final Curtain, where it has more vocals, where she had enough and wants to end it. And then the Asylum Part 2, which is the reprise and the ending, where the aftermath, including the ER room and the funeral. So, spoiler alert, this doesn't end well. This is her journey, and this is what he wanted to express in music. Even though this I'm assuming is a story of fiction, This is something that's happened
Well,
to plenty of people in
course.
real life. All right, so
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this whole concept.
these are fun. These are fun. So in conclusion, we do this merely for the love of writing and recording.
Oh,
But I wanted to create and share a real-life scenario with what I believe is good music. He says, I'm classically trained on piano, violin, so it's melodic but still bluesy, edgy with the guitar. It's really more of an audio movie than a radio CD. Think Floyd, Allison Parsons concept album, something like that. So like we spoke about. So that's what we got to look forward to. We're just going to lay back and chill.
he didn't state what genre it is. It doesn't matter. It's just a concept album that's going to most likely be amazing.
Well, you've got a 2-person band. So chances are it was made with multiple instruments, recorded at different times, and then put
Right.
together on a computer, which how a lot of music is made nowadays anyway.
Right.
So there's probably going to be layers, and there's probably going to be an electronic element to it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm thinking progressive like.
I'm thinking more eerie and more electronic and more symphonic. But
I
we'll
like
see.
That. Okay, we'll see.
We
Let's
shall
get to
see.
it.
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
I'm so excited.
Getting off to a pretty start.
Yeah. I love all the rich.
These added rain effects. Setting the mood. Easy indeed. It's got a retro sound. Not like in the creepy pictures, though. That's that lady from The Ring, isn't it? I can certainly tell he was inspired by Pink Floyd. I want to pause here for a second. He said voices were what he would consider more of the commercial song on this entire album.
First of all, they did a really good job telling the story, the first part of the story.
I thought so too.
My sister, my oldest sister actually, she is schizophrenic and she hears voices. And she's had some traumas of her own. And part of her traumas come by way of my father, which is her stepfather. And after he did things to her, she kind of snapped. She literally snapped. And she hasn't been the same ever since. So,
You know, I didn't even think about that when we were playing this. Is that what you were thinking of? That's what kind of... Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't even think about that.
When I was a little girl, I used to look up to her because she was so smart. She was very ambitious. She was in nursing school. She finished school at a very young age, and she was so smart. And I remember looking out the window, waiting for her to come home from work with her suitcase. She was young, but she was really driven and very ambitious. And my father did things to her. And I remember one instance, this is years afterwards. I was 15. No, I'm sorry. I was 14 at the time. And my mother had left us. She had divorced. She separated from my father, and she left me and my brother, one of my brothers, along with my sister with my father now, who's not my father's biological child. And one night, at the time I was going to church, I was a Christian at the time, and I was supposed to go to church that night, but something told me to stay home. I went to sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I heard my sister Yvette screaming from the room next door, and I rushed to that room, which is my father's room, and the door was cracked, and my father was basically trying to rape her. Okay, and he got up really quickly, closed the door, he locked it, and I had to break the door down, and I rescued her. So she's still dealing with traumas. You know, a lot of her trauma stemmed from my father, who has never paid for his whatever, you know. So you know, I think about my sister all the time because I mean, she had a promising future, and she was one of the special ones, you know. And
did you guys ever understand what was the point where she lost her sense of reality? Like, did you ever pinpoint like kind of what was the moment? Was there any particular moment, or did it just happen gradually?
It happened literally overnight.
Do you remember what night it was? Do you remember what was happening?
I don't remember what was happening. I just know that she went out with my other sister, who's deceased, and her friends, and she wasn't the going out type, but she went out with them, to my remembrance, from what I was told. Whenever she's in her, you know, there have been times she's in her that space where she feels she's being attacked, and she would always say he's trying to hurt me, he's trying to do this, it's always a he. So I mean, I believe that a lot of her traumas is the result of the abuse that she endured by the hands of my father.
This is going to be a little harder to get through than I thought.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this, so
I didn't think about that, I'll be honest with you. I met your sister, and she definitely doesn't have a grip on reality, and you told me the story. I told you what it was about, but it didn't click.
Really, yeah.
So I guess kudos to you for kind of portraying mental illness pretty well, because we weren't thinking about it before we started listening to the song, but now we're there. We're there, and we're thinking about mental illness, and I guess that's a testament to how interesting the song was.
Very considerate song.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the song itself, I could hear the Pink Floyd influence. I could hear the bluesiness in the guitar.
Good job. Good way. They did a good job with, you know, combining all the sounds and the instruments and how they layered it and also transitioned to that next phase. They did a really, really good job.
Yeah, he did say listen to it with headphones. So if you're listening to it through a speaker, I would recommend definitely putting them in your ears and hearing the intricacy of the sound. There is some layering there. The rain effects at the beginning was nice. It's setting the mood in the stage.
Oh man, yeah.
And overall, the ambience is very nice. So it is really nice. I'm glad we sat back and relaxed for this, because the ambience is nice, and he is kind of taking us on that journey. And now we've kind of been introduced to the character and what's going on inside her mentally.
Right.
So now we're going to hear the next song, which is You'll Like It Here, which he says is the introduction to her into the asylum. So the doctors are bringing her into the asylum. So we're going to go ahead and continue.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what was on her mind, because I could see she was being affected, and it looked like she had something to say. So I just wanted you to get that out there. But
thank you.
Let's try to get through it and see
where it
takes us. Yeah.
And get to the end.
Very nice so far. And
yes,
each instrument, the bass that's laying the foundation for the entire work.
The sounds
is
in the
very
back,
nice.
They did a good job combining the sounds. They made it sound like there's sound and movement in the background, and it's like it's encompassing us. It's surrounding us. They did it really, really
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. That's what I was expecting, is something like where Slick did, because when you're producing things on a computer like that, you can layer these effects and the after effects, and it creates a very nice atmosphere.
And Jen, beautiful voice, baby.
Yes,
beautiful.
Yes, your voice is actually very nice. So it's all working very well so far.
Yeah.
So let's keep it going.
Let's pace ourselves though.
Come with me, hurry up.
smooth. Such a sucker for that retro sound. Well, I think this one is supposed to feel good because she's being introduced to the hospital. They're making her think that this is a good place to be.
Gotcha.
They want her to be comfortable.
This is really, really, really good.
You sucker, you.
So beautiful. So good. Jeez.
How that VR game made you feel. Don't look behind you.
the faces stare back. They're all so unkind. I close my eyes and I hope to see the times when I was young and my thoughts ran free. This is my reality. This roof closing in on me. Think how I used to be. Can't face my reality. I sit in the corner. Through the darkness I hear the others around me screaming, year after year. I close my eyes and I hope to see the times when I was young and my thoughts ran free. This is my reality. This roof closing in on me. Thinking how I used to be. I can't face my reality. This is my reality. This roof closing in on me. Think how I used to be. Can't face my reality.
So let's evaluate where we are so far. So Alone in My Thoughts is when she's in her room and hears the world inside her head with no outside distractions.
Uh-huh.
You want to give your opinion on it first?
Well, for me, it felt. Honestly, they're doing a really good job telling a story with music, because it really felt like I was able to actually put myself I was able to put myself back into my childhood, like really reflect back, and I became that little girl again. It just felt very sweet and innocent. Right? Did it? For you?
Yeah, I thought they did. Like, You'll Like It Here and Alone in My Thoughts, I thought the ambience worked really well,
Yeah.
and the bluesy guitar worked really well, and it's a bit, it was a bit slower, more relaxed, but it was designed for ambience, and it was designed to
reflection,
to put you into the mood, into the mental state of the person. The voices, the sound effects, and the mixing, I thought was good.
Oh, but the guitar though.
The guitar throughout was very nice. The guy's clearly a good guitarist.
Classically trained.
And, well, Jim is the one who's classically trained in piano and violin.
Okay.
So he's the one doing a lot of the organ work and the piano work and a lot of the ambience and mood. And then you've got the guitarist who's playing throughout the entire track. So Vic.
But there was a certain special picking of the guitar, the string, that was so beautiful and captivating, and it was alluring.
Yeah.
And it was so intentional. That sound was, of course, everything they do is intentional, but it was like it was there to get your attention, to grab at you.
Yeah.
That pushed me over the edge. It was so beautiful.
Well, he's following a lot of the greats. I mean, David Gilmour, Carlos Santana, Eric Clapton. He's doing that classic guitar rock sound with the blues inspiration.
Beautiful job.
And it's very slow, melodic, and he's peppering it throughout the whole song, which is really nice. Then we got into...
How about Jen's vocals, though?
Again, well... Okay, so I liked it in the first songs we heard. My reality, when she realizes this is now my existence. So Jen is singing in one style, and then the chorus, like you said, is a little sweeter.
Right.
I thought that I like that idea. I think the song can be fleshed out a little bit better. I feel like when it comes to that sweet part, it can be a little sweeter, and then when it hits that more heavy moment in the next verse, I think that needs to be a little more heavier. I think the bluesy slow guitar is not as effective there when it feels like it should be a little bit more metal, in my opinion. So I feel like the music needs to pick up a little more there, because it's like in the song, it's her reality. She's realizing that this is now her existence. I'm assuming that's in a negative way. Like she has this sweet moment, but then there's that heavy, more angry moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like that needs to be a little cleaner and a little heavier to kind of really be effective. I don't feel like it affected me the way it probably should have.
I can appreciate that, and I agree. I agree with that, yeah.
But overall, so far, it's good.
Yes, overall, solid.
I just feel like that song could probably be tweaked a little bit better.
Yeah, her vocals in that part.
Her vocals...
The vocals, she sings, when she's singing normally,
Mm-hmm.
sweet, clean, I love it.
Right.
But definitely on that part.
But she's doing more of a rock vocal.
Yeah, that has to be a little
cleaned
harder,
up, and the music itself needs to also back her up a little bit better. I feel like it's still a little low for what she's trying to sing. And I think I hear a duet there.
Maybe
I think
a little more bass
voice.
on that part as well.
Do you hear a male voice, like a duet?
I didn't hear that.
There's like another layer to her voice. I'm not sure if they layered her voice on top of a voice to kind of make it seem like a darker voice.
Quite possible.
Or if there's a duet. I could have sworn I heard a male duet on that. I just feel like it could be cleaned up a little bit. But other than that, so far, pretty good.
Indeed.
So I'm surprised.
Really
I didn't think I was going to think. I didn't realize I was going to enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it. So overall,
I didn't know what to expect, but I was
good.
excited. So I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
All right, so we're getting into Sweet Madness now. This is
Which phase is that?
moments of peace, chaos, and then peace. So it might be a little bit more of what we just heard. So let's see if maybe. Let's see how they arrange this.
Sweet Madness.
Curious.
I'm interested.
Yeah. Here we go. Skulls curl. Tony, we said Santana, and I'm getting a Santana vibe. See, this part right here can be also considered a little gothic.
I like it so much. I really do. It's so good.
It's almost like theme music that you just have behind you in the background the whole day.
All
Just
day.
playing all day.
Yeah, all day.
It just goes with everything you're doing.
Yeah, it does. I really enjoyed that.
Alright, so the chaos sounded pretty good. I like the chaos.
Ghosts are in my mind.
Well, that's not good. Especially that one.
They're calling out my name from the darkness of the night. This madness wells inside of me while I'm begging for the light. There are demons in my dreams. They're dancing in my head.
Like the flow of the song so far.
Paranoid and suicidal thoughts could only leave me dead. Ghosts are in my mind. They haunt me all the time. I'm out on a ledge and over the edge. Tortured hands, I swear I'll lose my mind.
Beautiful voice.
demented and distraught, tormented and insane. There's chains around me, souls surround me, but no one feels my pain. I see him all the time, taunting me with death. These psychopathic evil specters chasing me are stealing my last breath. Ghosts are in my mind, they haunt me all the time. I'm out on the ledge and over the edge. I'm tortured hands, I swear I'll lose my
That right there? Yeah.
I love the bass.
Ghosts are in my mind, they haunt me all the time. I'm out on the ledge and over the edge. I'm tortured hands, I swear. Ghosts are in my mind,
Really good song.
haunt me all the time. I'm out on the ledge and over the edge. I'm tortured hands, I swear I'll lose my
So is the little girl her ghost tormentor? Is that who she's
Possibly
hearing
the
in her
little
head?
girl that she took herself back to in the previous part of the story.
She experiences really bad delusions, ghosts in my mind. There's a lot I liked in that song.
There's a lot of layers to this song. Yeah. And
I
there's-
love the little riff that dun, 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 dun,
Yes,
dun.
baby. Those little riffs, those little sweet moments with the guitar. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, and it almost sounds like a mixing of genres, like kind of like the Finnish symphonic metal that we listen to,
Yeah.
with that Pink Floyd bluesy influence.
Yes, babe.
Kind of had a little bit both of that all mixed
Uh-huh.
in there, you know?
With a splash of gothic.
Yeah. Well, gothic with the
Did it-
previous song, because I think we just heard two. So yeah, put it all together. There's a lot going on here. I like it.
Yeah.
I would like the instruments to be a tad on the same level as the vocals. I feel like the vocals are layered a little too loud.
Up in the front. Yeah.
Well, just more even,
It should
just
be
more,
definitely
just more evenly
I
balanced.
agree with that as well.
But
Yeah, baby.
there's a lot to like in that song.
There's
the
a lot
riffs
to
and everything,
love about
the
that
bass.
song.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I agree.
I mean, if you have any interest in going back and tweaking it, if you balance it a little bit more where the instruments are layered more equally with the vocals, you got a hit on
Yeah.
your hands. That was a pretty cool song.
Because in some respect, it does sound like her voice is in front of the
Right.
instruments instead of it being all together.
Right. And luckily it's a good voice, so it's
Yeah, it's a good voice.
it doesn't ruin
Good
it,
job,
but it definitely would make it better. And even if you wanted to make a single, edit out the parts with the little girl, and you could have like an actual single, like a nice song release that you can, like a radio edit version. You got the album version, which has little extras, and you got like a radio edit version, But very good.
Indeed.
Yeah,
I'm
let's keep it
happy.
going.
I'm happy. I knew I wasn't going to be disappointed. Though.
You never know.
I told you that before.
You never
though.
know.
I knew I wasn't going to be disappointed.
You always hope if someone is going through the trouble of trying to call attention to their music
Right.
that it's good, but you never know. So
That is true. The reason why I'm not surprised that I'm enjoying it is because, I mean, I assume that this is one of my fans, okay, the soldiers, and they kind of have an idea of what I like. So they probably knew that the way their music is structured.
He seemed pretty confident it was going to make you cry. So
No way! You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. Really? He seemed pretty confident.
What did he say?
So far, he was correct.
What did he say?
He said that you've got to play this for Make Sistah Cry.
Oh my God! You see, that's why I knew it. They know me, babe. They just know me.
One thing that's funny is I have my finger in between her toes. And every time that Pink Floyd influenced guitar riffs start kicking in, her toes start to curl. It's the cutest thing.
I didn't even realize until you pointed it out.
It just keeps curling every time the guitar kicks in. All right, let's keep it going.
All right, babe.
Okay. We've rearranged. And we're ready. We're ready for more. Let's do this.
Different sound here. Oh wow.
The bluesiest one yet. It's a lot bluesier than the other ones.
So good.
So you're hearing that imaginary phone call.
For me, things started when I was about 13.
We're getting to the
I
end.
was in high school and the kids would bully me. Usually it was just things about my appearance or being a nerd, something like that. But then they started getting nastier, saying things like, yo, you should kill yourself. Yeah, it did have an impact. When I hit 18, that's when I started hearing voices. I was having a lot of suicidal thoughts at the time. I heard this bloke telling me, do it.
I'd then know where the victors lie beneath the rest, and the victor's spoils show.
Because I've not a lot of suicidal thoughts all the time. Do it. Kill yourself.
All my life I've seen what others could not see, and my years of tales of fear that I told to only me. Still locked inside these walls, about to break these chains. Will survivors tell my tale, or will others hear the call again? We live till we die, and we rise until we fall. We laugh till we cry, until the final curtain call for you.
Of course, fits really well to the song.
It's the best one yet for me.
The vocals also sound more balanced with the instruments in this one.
Because I've not a lot of suicidal thoughts all the time. Do it. Kill yourself.
I don't like when he says that.
Wow. Huh.
Okay, we're about to close this out.
Oh my gosh.
That interview they chose was really good.
Yeah.
It's one because it was in a female voice,
Yeah.
and since it's a female protagonist, it's
Yes,
effective.
Yes, yes.
But also, wasn't it her? What the voices are making me do? Isn't it she the one who made the male voice and said do it? Wasn't that part of her interview? Because that was really creepy.
It was a
especially when it's
female
coming
voice
from the
that said
person.
do it, I think.
No, I feel like when she was saying it, she was giving the doctor an example of what she hears, and she did that voice, and then she said do it. I thought that was pretty creepy.
That was definitely creepy. I agree with you that the this particular song here, her voice was balanced much better with the instruments. I love those background sounds. I think this is brilliant.
It's cool. It was a cool effort. Overall, a
Yeah.
cool effort.
Indeed.
But let's hear the final closing song.
Yeah, let's do it.
So she's had enough and wants to end it. So she's got the voices in her head telling her to kill herself. And now the final.
So this is the final countdown, the battle between
No,
herself.
no, I don't think there was a battle. That's the sad part. I think that song we just heard was the voices in her head telling her to kill herself, and I think she actually did it.
This song has I have goosebumps. Like,
Yeah, mental health. We are our brains. If there's something wrong with our brains, who are we? You know what I mean? It's our reality, our perception of reality
it's very
that
true.
that determines what reality is.
Yeah, I say used to because I don't have night terrors anymore.
Yeah, we've kind of nipped that in the bud a little bit.
I suffered. I've had night terrors for over 15 years, and and I'm mentioning that because you're right. It's a form of mental psychosis.
What I've learned with our marriage is that she's it's not a coincidence that she does feel music so deeply. She's actually a very sensitive person, but I mean on a literal sense. Like the what we found out was she's been going to bed to the ID channel where they talk about murders and stuff like that.
I've always loved that show.
24/7.
I don't know why.
And it's relaxing and it puts her to sleep. But what we found out is in her psyche,
Yep.
that information, even though she's falling asleep, is still getting in.
Yes.
And it's making her afraid. So when she wakes up, she wakes up with a terror.
Not just that, I'm having panic attacks in my sleep.
Yeah.
That's what the doctor said. I'm having panic attacks, and I wake up feeling
Yeah.
panic. My heart is racing, and I think I'm either.
She's very susceptible to stress, but
Yeah.
I notice when she falls asleep, her subconscious is still very active. Like sometimes when I'm putting her to sleep, she'll say things even though she's asleep. She'll say something or react to something she heard on the TV, even though she's not conscious. So I noticed that that's still happening. And the moment we changed the channel,
Yeah.
it started to reduce, and now she hasn't had it. So it's anyone who's experiencing that, maybe try that, because if you're very susceptible, even in your subconscious where you're going to sleep, things are still getting in
Yes.
and affecting. We found that very interesting.
But I mean, for me, I can't go to sleep to soothing, peaceful sounds. I think because I grew up in a very toxic, loud household. It was always noise, and if it wasn't arguing, it was a lot of noise. So for me, I've become accustomed to falling to sleep to loud sounds.
Oh
so,
my God, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. So
'Cause tell them what you fall asleep to now. Go ahead, tell them. Tell them. Wear it with
TV?
pride. Reality TV. She's going to bed with fools yelling at each other and fighting on
Don't call my
television.
people fools.
She loves reality TV, but now it makes sense. Like I can't understand how they're literally yelling at each other constantly and bickering, and that relaxes you, and that has helped your night terrors. That is so interesting.
However, once I'm asleep, once I've fallen
once
asleep,
you've gotten all that out
he
of it.
comes into the room and he puts my ambient. Is it ambient?
Yeah, we listen new
My
age
ambient
music.
music.
Yeah, we're listening to new age music.
New
when
age,
we go to
yes, my
bed.
new age music on, and then I'm good. As long as I've been put asleep initially, I'm good because I'm still in between sleeping and not really being awake.
Yeah, I mean the new age music. I kind of force that upon you because I can't sleep to silence, so I must
can't
have
sleep to
something
silence either.
playing. Now we definitely can't.
Oh,
my
you better
God.
leave that.
When we travel, it's tough.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
But I need something to shut my brain off because I can't stop talking to myself.
Shut you up. Pow, pow, pow.
And I have to be like on the edge of being the most tired. And usually my bedtime is like 5 or 6 in the morning because I simply can't get to sleep. I can't shut my brain off.
so sorry. That really sucks.
It's been a lifelong problem, but
that
you know, it's active brain syndrome or something. There is a name for it.
I have stupid
Interestingly
brain
enough.
syndrome.
Stupid.
You have subconscious brain syndrome.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We're moving forward, not sideways. We got the
All right.
Asylum Part 2.
So we did it. It didn't
Two.
feel that long
Two.
because we
It
enjoyed what we were
didn't-
listening to.
Oh my God, yeah.
Let's conclude it, and
Is this the last one?
yeah, this is our the final
You're
goodbye
too sweet for me.
to our lovely lady at the asylum.
Yes. She's doing a beautiful job carrying this song, the vocals. She's doing a really good job.
So, yep. Good job on the piano,
And yeah, the piano is
and of
everything.
course the guitar is
and
top
the
notch.
guitar. Everything
What
is
can you say
beautiful.
about the
Honestly, you
guitar?
guys did a really exceptional job.
Yeah. Did the guitars do the bass as well? Now you gotta tell us in the comments, Jim. All right.
Okay.
Prices returning location on Pink Floyd.
Kind of ends the way it began. Oh, you didn't say there was gonna be sax in this. I mean, you got the tears running down your neck and down your chest. Look at this. Looks like he's sweating. That last song really did it to you. What happened?
You know, there are a multitude of reasons why. Well, I mean, first of all, it's the climax. It's the end, you know. But
Did it have anything to do with me telling you it was her funeral?
well, I know it's the end. It's it's that, of course, that, and
I felt the song sounded pretty bittersweet.
yeah, it definitely sounded very bittersweet.
There was a twinge of sadness to it for sure.
You know, I'm just thinking about all the people that suffer with mental illness.
Yeah.
And,
I was imagining if anyone was at her funeral, if anyone knew her,
yeah,
you know?
thinking about my sister who's done some things, you know, acted out in ways that literally harms herself, you know.
Yeah.
It's sad, you know. Mental illness is a very real thing, but it's not really spoken about a whole lot. It's really not. People don't address it. They don't speak about it. You know, it's something that's swept under the rug, and that doesn't get a whole lot of attention until it's too late. You know. I wish I could connect with my sister and.
You mean connect with her in the here,
Yes.
in the real world,
The
and
real
not her
world.
world. I can't even imagine what that. Actually, I do imagine what that feels like. Remember when I told you towards the end of my mom's life, when she was so heavily medicated, she was basically a different person. That is a very uncomfortable feeling, to know someone your whole life and then to see them in front of you and not see them anymore. It's now someone else,
Yeah.
and that is a horrible feeling. I'm so sorry, sweetheart.
They did a really good job with the song. I felt I was going through that with her. What about you?
I did.
You did a good job.
I think having it hit home a little bit more. I think anyone who has mental illness
Yeah.
will probably be affected by this a little bit more, but I think everyone can relate to it in some way.
Yes, indeed.
In that sense, well done. I mean, just from a musical standpoint, instrumentation and the artistry was good. Mixing was good overall.
Yes.
Some parts, like we said earlier, could probably be redone a little bit better. And you'll have some hits on your hands.
Yeah, indeed.
I do hear the fact that it could use some polish, some more studio work.
You know, I have baby ears, you know, infant ears, and I'm a virgin.
You do have tiny ears, yeah.
You know, but so now there's a lot I need to learn about, you know, what to hear, you know, what is good and what's not, you know. It's all actually relative, though, when you think about it.
Sure.
For me, this song, this album was beautiful, and it did a really good job interpreting the idea, explaining musically the mindset of the person in the asylum. Did a really good job, and honestly, it took me there. It really, really did. It took me. I felt that I was walking through this journey with this person. I really did. And the piano, beautiful piano work, beautiful.
That's Jim.
Oh my God, Jim, baby, you did an exceptional job. Your skills, your fingers, good work. And the guitar, honestly, I think this song. I think there was 3 songs that had a really sweet riff in there, and there was one in particular that with that special pulling that just grabbed you, it just got my attention and just, it really took me over the edge. I just thought it was so beautiful and so intentional. And wow. Overall, baby, you guys nailed it. You guys did a really exceptional job. I enjoyed this so much, and I can't believe we've been sitting here for how long? Like 40, 45 minutes, maybe?
The album was 50 minutes.
Holy crap.
Didn't feel like it, and that's a good sign.
I enjoyed that so much. Thank you so very much. Let me sit up and tell you guys. Thank you all so very much. I think the song was beautiful. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from you all, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, to sum up my conclusion, the fact that it didn't feel like 50 minutes that we just sat through is a good testament to what we thought of the album. So I think you did an overall good job. Yeah. We've said everything. I've touched on everything I feel like I need to touch on. Is there anything you want to add?
I wouldn't mind more bass. That's it.
But bass. You say that for you could say that on any song.
Because I think that bass is not utilized enough in songs.
I felt like it stood out because it was dominant throughout. When there were no instruments playing, the bass was still playing throughout the entire track because it was kind of setting the mood. Maybe perhaps you wanted more complex bass? Possibly that.
See, I'm still learning, so maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this particular situation, the bass was meant to set the mood and the foundation and just kind of be in the background. I hope this gives you more exposure. I think you deserve it.
I hope so, yes.
And I hope this inspires you to do more.
Indeed.
And thank you for the sponsorship again. Thank you for thinking of us.
Thank you so very much.
To do the review for you.
Yes, indeed.
And if I'm being honest, I'm glad I liked it.
Yeah,
Not sure if I feel comfortable if I didn't. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let Jim know what y'all think.
Please do.
If you like what you heard from him, subscribe to his channel so that you could motivate him to do more.
Right. All right, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this reaction/review. And if you did, please do not leave without giving us a thumbs up. Comment below. Subscribe to our channel as well as Jim's channel. And please do share our content as well.
And as always,
keep it metal. Metal forever, baby.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.
Stupid shit.
Babe, come on.
Can we cut this?
It's against the law. It's illegal.
There's literally no writing on it. I've gone too far. I can't stop that.
Oh my God.
When does the movie start? Damn, you got a loud clap.
Okay, wait a minute.
There's way too much surface area. Are you ready?
Bitch, I'm ready. Okay.
In this whole process, I've lost my head. Okay.